Hey everybody, it's Nerdicane. I'm doing my review of PUBG finally, and this, I know it's been out for a while, but this is the total scrub guide to getting to the top 10. And my review. Basic premise of this is there's 100 people. 100 people enter, one person leaves. It's basically Hunger Games without all the teenage romance drama crap. So the C-130 goes over the place, and you choose a time and a place to jump out. Now, I might get into this a little later. It's kind of important where you jump out. Um, if you jump out at the beginning, you're going to deal with a lot of impatient people. So I'll cut the parachute drop because the parachute drop is the most tense part. So you hit the ground, find weapons. You got to find weapons, and in this situation, instantly I got a weapon. This dude, I guess he had a handgun, and he starts shooting at me, and I go looking for him. Now he shot at me and he backed up, so I understood that I need to change the situation because he's looking for me to come out that door. So I change the situation. I go around a different way, and I'm rewarded with basically a kill on a guy who didn't have weapons yet. Pretty easy kill. Generally, if you have a shotgun and a guy gets in close, it can be trouble. You need to just back up, take a deep breath, and check your aim. So instantly, one of the problems that I see with PUBG is when you land, and I've edited this part. This part was about 3 minutes of me going through 4 or 5 different buildings and not finding weapons. I found like trench coats and white t-shirts and boots, extended mags, health packs. I found everything except weapons. So the game is, I really think when you hit the ground, the most important things you need to get are smoke bombs, grenades. They're ancillary. I really have never really found a use for them. You need a rifle, because a lot of this game is rifle based, and you need a shotgun for when you get in close. I mean, look at this. I just spent a good 3 minutes, 4 minutes running through those buildings, and that's all I got. Very, very frustrating. So, a lot of this game, when you get away from that initial part, is basically laying down and waiting to ambush people. That's basically all you're doing. So yeah, a lot of this is just waiting, sitting to ambush somebody. That's when you get away from the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game is chaos, and it's the time that I approach people the least because they're alert and they're ready and they're waiting for an encounter. A lot of PUBG is you're going to kill people who didn't even see you, and you're going to get killed by people who you didn't see. And a lot of the game is lag. The game's not finished. The game is not, and it says when you buy it that it is not in its completed form. But I mean, $30 for a game this laggy and this buggy seems a bit much. But it is a good game. It is fun, sort of. Has potential to be a really great game, but they need to polish it and they need to add things to it. But getting back to it, so you get hit the ground, and after a few minutes, I think 3 minutes, the circle starts to shrink. And if you're outside the circle in the beginning part, you start to take damage. Not too much on the first part. It gets progressively worse to where you don't want to spend a moment outside of the circle towards the end. That becomes a very, very important part of the game, is being near the circle. But basically, you get yourself inside the circle about as close as possible to the center, and you lay down, and you just wait for people, and you wait for the next circle to pop up. Yes, it sounds boring, but I'm a total scrub at these games. I'm not good. The last 2 games, shooting games that I was really good at were the original Destiny PvP. I was excellent at that, and probably Black Ops 2 was really good at those games. So generally, I'm a scrub. So basically, getting back to the strategies, you basically lay down and you just wait for people to show up, people to come at you. Um, like in this situation, I'm just sitting and waiting, and this dude pops up, and he does a couple things wrong. Uh, he shows up, and I'll show this again. He comes to an area, and if you see him, he's checking his map. He's doing two things wrong. He's checking his map while standing. You need to lay down to get your bearings. And the other part is when you stop, you need to check your area. You need to look at the area and at least kneel down before you go checking your map. Here's a situation: somebody came up on me and they got the drop on me. Just better shooting. He got me. That's all I can say. But getting back to it, laying down. I can't. This is a lot of. If you're a scrub like I am, and you want to make top 10, you want to get at least in the running to win a game, you're going to do a lot of crawling. In one game, I finished top 3, and I must have crawled for at least 2 kilometers, which doesn't sound heroic and macho, but this is not a game of kill counts. This is a game of not being part of someone else's kill count. So, also you'll see whenever I run around, I will look behind me and I'll look to my sides. That's just in case somebody spotted me and they're coming up behind me. So, like right here, this guy, he did not look to the sides, and pretty easy kill, just popped. And we were so close to the end that I didn't even bother to loot his stuff, and I had a pretty good setup already, so I just ran with it. Another thing about PUBG is you're going to hear firefights off in the distance and to the sides and stuff like that, and you're going to get shot at times. Not every time you get shot at demands a confrontation, because in this game, if somebody's shooting at you, that generally means they're either taking a pot shot at you, or they have a good position where they feel safe and they feel like they can control the situation. So another thing is vehicles. Vehicles are very interesting. I went through a pretty big phase of vehicle usage, trying to run people over, and it was okay. I didn't have a whole lot of success with it. You basically just sit there and wait for people to move, and then try to run them over. So it's basically just like if you had a rifle. But I think the third thing that you need to be successful in this game is a vehicle. You need to be able to travel quickly to get to a zone and set up. So, and it's a little weird at first doing this first person driving in first person. Not everybody's used to that. I play a lot of Forza, so pretty lethal in a vehicle. This one dude coming up probably shouldn't have done what he did. So I'm driving, and he takes a shot at me, and I lay into the horn. I give him a taste of the horn to let him know I wasn't too pleased with that. It wasn't not taking a shot at me. You should take all the shots that you can. His problem was where he made the mistake was not getting cover. I mean, if you see him, he's right there in the middle of the field. I'm bobbing and weaving so he can't hit me, and then just ran him over. I didn't even bother trying to go get his stuff because I had moved away. But I enjoy the vehicles. They were fun. I got to the point where I was like, I wonder if you can die in a vehicle. And then I ran into this guy, and yeah, you'll see that you're not invincible in a vehicle. You're very tough in a vehicle, but you're definitely not invincible. So I think that was kind of the end of my vehicle manslaughter phase. So back to moving across the ground. And a lot of this game, I've gotten to the point where I don't really approach these little settlements, because 9 times out of 10 late in the game, there's somebody in there waiting to get you. And once again, I got killed by somebody. I didn't even know where he was. I couldn't even see him, but that's because I approached him in a spot where he had already set up. So I was running in, being a little too visible. This was this was inside the circle. This is inside the circle. I got top 3 on this one. I get top 10. I get top 25 pretty much every time. I get top 10 a lot more than a scrub should, and I get top 3 quite a bit. This is before I realized what looking down the sight. I kept trying to play COD style, where you just hold down the left trigger and you're looking down the sights. I was still hip firing at everything. It shows I'm kind of a scrub at this. I didn't really know. But the last 4 people in the circle are all laying down, and we're basically all looking for each other. So this is how the last bit is played. The biggest thing for this, as you'll see in a couple situations, I'll get directly fired at. The biggest thing in this situation is to stay calm. If you're not good at these games, stay calm in this situation. Make good decisions. And once again, it's a tiny circle. Swivel around and look to see if there's anybody else moving and making bad decisions, standing up and moving. In this phase, if you stand, you're dead. The other people are just going to get you. So this is me looking. I thought I heard something behind me, but I didn't win this one. I think I got 3rd. But yeah, in the final circle, lay down. Make sure you're in the circle and just stay calm. That's my advice. I've gotten really close a couple times, but this guy got me. He was laying behind the tree and I couldn't see him, and I guess he crawled up and managed to get me. So the game's interesting. It's not finished. It's, the funny thing is that like the fanboys of the game, any type of honest criticism of this game, and I'll probably get some hate, dislikes, and stuff like this on this, because I don't think it's a candidate for Game of the Year. I don't think it should be part of a bundle. The game isn't done. The game isn't ready. It has potential, but basically any honest criticism of the game to fanboys just becomes like you slap their mother. It's a fun game. Has potential. You have to learn how to play it. It's a little different than a COD game. I would like to see more vehicles and maybe a smaller play area, but has potential. I like it. I'm enjoying it, and I think you would too. But yeah, that's it.